coming up on the Wednesday edition of Carolina Week.
In sports, another great Duke game, another painful loss. We'll take you through Tuesday's showdown and show you what Roy and his boys had to say about their performance.
And then, how long will it take you to graduate? Some fear delayed graduation may put the university's reputation on the line.
Tired of spam? We'll show you how the university can help you protect your inbox.
Weathercaster Miles Henderson is here with your 4-day forecast.
Carolina Week starts right now.
From the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, this is Carolina Week.
As the old saying goes, close, but no cigar. Good evening, you're watching the February 8th edition of Carolina Week. I'm Shaheen Sayal.
And I'm Philip Jones. Another classic matchup between Duke and Carolina. Sportscaster Michael Crow joins us now. And Michael, for a while it looked like we'd be talking about a big win after that comeback, but unfortunately now it's heartbreak.
Yeah, they did have a great comeback there in the second half, but they just couldn't hold on. But it's already being referred to as an instant classic. And unfortunately for the Heels, this brand of classic is becoming all too familiar. The first half went exactly as the odd makers predicted, as the Heels trailed by 5 going into the break. Duke started the second half by reeling off 12 straight points, which prompted Roy Williams to bench all 5 starters. The strategy worked as the reserves, led by Quentin Thomas, sparked a 36-14 run to give Carolina a 5-point lead with less than 5 minutes remaining. But the Heels couldn't find an answer to last year's Player of the Year, J.J. Redick, who had 35 points and led Duke to the 87-83 victory. Well, Redick was too tough to handle, and we'll have complete highlights later in sports.
And Michael, they're young, so they'll bounce back.
Yeah, sure.
And they'll get another chance for revenge. The last game of the season is March 4th at Cameron. Thanks very much, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Well, Shaheen, police were geared up in case it did get wild after the game.
That's right. I was actually on Franklin Street Monday night, but other than me and 30 officers, it was pretty empty. Franklin Street looked like this after last year's win against the Blue Devils, but the outcome of Tuesday night's game left the street with a much different appearance. Sergeant Jack Terry says his team starts preparing for the big game several weeks in advance, then reconvenes on game day.
Just about halftime, we briefed shortly as to what our assignments are and come on up with about 5 minutes to go to Franklin Street and just stand by for the outcome of the game.
As of 11:30 p.m., Terry said the CHPD hadn't received any injury calls associated with the game.
There's another way we can beat Duke, and you can help out. Students and alumni can go to their local grocery store and donate canned goods to a campaign called The Big Four, Beat Hunger, Beat Duke Canned Food Drive. It's easy to donate. All you have to do is go online to www.beathungerbeatduke.com. There you'll find different options for how you can donate, such as using your One Card. Organizers encourage students to give so UNC can claim the #1 spot for the second year in a row. And Shaheen, with this campaign and another men's basketball game against Duke and the women's game coming up, there's a whole lot of chances for revenge.
That's right, Phil. There's still plenty of time to show Duke who's #1. Now to other news. There's a buzz around campus because graduation is less than 100 days away, but not for everyone who came to campus even 5 or 4 years ago. Caitlin Kleinert has more.
Let's face it, people love it here, and it's hard to leave. But many students are taking more than 4 years to graduate, and some administrators are worried the university's reputation is at risk. By the time Nate Adams graduates, he'll have been at UNC 5.5 years, and he's aware of the negative stigma that brings.
I guess I feel like the administration here has something to prove by cranking out as many students as they can. Like there's some factory that's cranking out the future middle class of America, the future leaders of America.
UNC has apparently fallen behind other public universities in its ability to get students to graduate in 4 years. Vice Provost for Enrollment Management Jerome Lucido says competition is fierce among universities, but he says it's important to look at both sides of the issue.
And so it makes sense for us to be a bit competitive and say, well, what kind of experience are students having? What are the reasons that are legitimate to have a student graduate in 5 years or more? And what are those reasons that aren't so legitimate?
Some reasons for staying in school longer than 4 years include changing majors, transferring, or interning. But fourth-year junior Liz Fieldsteel still thinks there's a negative perception of students like her.
I feel a lot of times like when I say that I'm a junior and my age, people want a reason as to why I decided to take time off or it's taking me so long, and kind of like I have to make up for it.
If you rush through school and graduate in 4 years, yes, you will have the credits on paper, but will you have the life experience that says I'm ready to be an adult, enter the workforce, start a family, or travel, you know? Taking some time off just kind of helps you realize that learning is going to be a lifetime experience.
The Vice Provost believes most students are ambitious and want to move on, though it's hard to leave this place.
Caitlin, how did he say the university is tackling this issue?
Shaheen, he said the university needs to work at identifying students who are at risk of getting into academic trouble, build better systems, and provide more advisors.
Caitlin Kleinard live on campus. Thanks, Caitlin.
A big announcement late Wednesday from Chancellor James Measer. He selected Bernadette Gray Little to replace outgoing Provost Robert Shelton. Shelton will become the president of the University of Arizona in July. Gray Little is currently the dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. Chancellor Measer's been busy hosting an open house Tuesday night. Students filled Grand Memorial Lounge to listen to the Chancellor's fireside chat. The question and answer forum allowed students to voice their concerns about a number of subjects. Measer says he wants to continue to improve things for students and enhance Carolina's reputation.
My goal is constantly to improve the quality and also the reputation of this place so that when you graduate, you've got something of sterling quality.
The Chancellor says he'll look into all of the topics brought up during the open house. Before he left, Measer tickled the ivories for the group.
Well, students are speaking out on behalf of Aramark Food Services employees on campus. Now they're taking their concerns to Student Congress. C.G. Dodds has that story.
Just last month, Student Action with Workers, SAW, held a demonstration in Lenoir in support of a union. Unionization is not a new subject to UNC. In fact, it was at the center of controversy this past year. It's something that Vice President of the Black Student Movement and Student Congress member Julius West is very passionate about.
There's a general atmosphere between the workers and their supervisors where the workers feel, one, that they're not respected, and two, they don't feel safe.
Recently, Aramark has been accused of exploiting non-English speaking workers and maintaining a hostile work environment. Aramark adamantly denies these charges. Congress heard testimony from representatives on all sides, including the Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs, Dr. Margaret Jablonski, and Tim Stallman of SAW. Speaker Luke Farley vocalized his concerns.
The implication of specifically Congress passing this resolution is simply going to be whether another arm of student government, another branch, gets involved in the fight over workers' rights on campus.
Student Congress voted to postpone the vote until members know more about key details. In Chapel Hill, I'm C.G. Dodds, Carolina Week.
Student Congress has yet to set a date for the next public hearing.
Some housekeepers aren't happy with the new cleaning program at the university. UNC began a pilot program to improve its cleaning process. The program, OS1, reduces chemical usage and includes team cleaning. Each housekeeper specializes in one area, like trash, instead of doing several tasks. Housekeepers are worried the program would make their jobs monotonous. Housekeeping Services Director Bill Burston says he understands the response to the change, but believes OS1 will be more efficient.
Employees are not just running around trying to say, what do I do next, what do I do next? In OS1, there's a process, and everyone has a certain job they do, and they know what to do. Whenever you finish one thing, you know exactly what to do next.
The university finished a trial run last week. Burston said if the program proves successful, it might be campus-wide by this summer.
UNC is known for its ambitious students, and one way to get ahead is through internships. Are you interested in politics? Well, Chapel Hill Town Councilman Bill Thorpe has proposed an internship program to get students interested in local government. He's offering academic credit as an incentive to get students involved. Junior political science major Mary Huff is interested in going into politics and thinks this is a good opportunity for students.
I definitely think it's a good idea because it's hands-on work that people can be doing, and the fact that they get class credit gives them an incentive to take time out of their busy schedules and do it.
The program is designed to put students on the staff side rather than the leadership side of government.
UNC student government wants to make life a little easier next semester. How would you like to go to the bookstore to find the prices have decreased? Student Congress passed a resolution last week to encourage professors to use the same edition of a textbook for at least 3 years before changing to a new edition. The idea came from sophomore Congress member Caroline Spencer.
It's a resolution just with our basically opinion, because that's basically what a resolution is, of what we think about the textbook issue. And it's just to kind of open doors on both ends, faculty and students, to try to get something happening.
Spencer says the resolution is another way of fighting the cost of textbooks. According to the National Association of College Bookstores, prices have decreased almost 40% in the past 5 years. With faculty help, you may see fewer bundled books and more stickers like these. Not only can you read your textbooks at home, now you can listen to your teacher's lectures at home too. Pickaprof.com allows you to download recordings of class lectures, but you don't have to be in the library to use these course casts. You can listen to them anywhere you can take your MP3 player or your computer. So when you see students listening to an iPod, instead of music, they could be listening to the voice of their favorite professor. Shaheen, you've heard it before. You've got mail.
But many times, is that letter actually for you? Coming up, we'll show you how to just say no to spam.
Protect yourself from mannequinism. Volunteer, vote, stay informed. It's easy to get involved.
I just dropped 32 pounds this year, and boy, do I feel better.
Drop it. See how good it feels.
Junk email is a constant nuisance for some students, and it can be used to send viruses or steal your identity. Reporter Alex Cabe shows us how you can protect your mailbox.
Most UNC students know what it's like to look for an important message and find their email boxes choked with unwanted advertisements or outright swindles. The university can help. It's had a spam filter for years, but most students don't even know it's there. There are more than 1,000 things that can tell the filter that a message might be spam, Messaging System Manager Chris Colomb says.
If it has like all caps, for example, or if it uses a predominance of certain words, say to make certain parts of your body larger, things like this.
After the system filters out spam, there are several things you can do.
Then they can decide what they want to do with the messages. They can just delete them all with just a couple clicks of the mouse.
The filter also has a blacklist feature. You can stop certain addresses or whole service providers from sending you messages ever again. The system is up to 98% effective. Sophomore Rafael Ruiz started using the filter a week ago.
I suggested it to a couple of my friends who didn't know anything about it, and they were really surprised that we had one on campus.
Colomb says the university is trying to do more to get the word out about the filter. In Chapel Hill, I'm Alex Cabe, Carolina Week.
If you'd like to sign up for the filter or learn more about protecting your computer from spam, check out our website at carolinaweek.org.
Many Americans are receiving their W-2 forms, but they might not know about an alternative method to filing their taxes. The IRS now accepts tax filings online through e-file. In 2005, about 70 million taxpayers used the online filing system, which is not only secure, but also quick with returns. Enrolled agent Larry Giles says this paperless form of filing taxes will become the most common way to file. The IRS projects that more than 135 million Americans will e-file in 2006.
Another online site is helping teachers educate their students about Black History Month. Teachers in the Carborough Chapel Hill school system can now go to a website that will help them develop lesson plans about Black history. The site gives ideas for essay topics about prominent Black figures and about issues important to the Black community. Well, Valentine's is coming up, Phil.
That's right, Shaheen. And in honor of Valentine's Day, a local UPS store is doing its part to both celebrate the holiday and support our troops overseas. It's called Operation SWAC. That's Operation Sealed with a Kiss. UPS agrees to pay postage on cards or letters mailed to soldiers at military posts outside the U.S. Store owner Bill Souters says UPS has been doing this promotion nationally since the Gulf War, but this is the first year he's involved. Operation SWAC will continue through Valentine's Day. And I certainly hope by Valentine's Day we'll see a warm up, and weathercaster Miles Henderson is here.
That's right, Miles. It feels like winter is finally here to stay.
It is. It's been very cold outside, especially the last couple of days, but I have bad news. It is going to get a little bit colder. It definitely does seem like it's going to be warm right now, but it is going to cool off. But bundle up. It's going to stay cool for the next couple of days. I have the 4-day forecast coming up momentarily.
If you're not recycling, you're throwing it all away.
Don't walk. Don't walk. Walk. Do not enter. Hot dogs. Definitely like hot dogs. Motorcycle club. Everything must go. Ghostly ghouls. Don't look at that, Teddy. Body piercing. Ouch.
Everyday moments can become teaching moments because learning starts long before school does. Give your child the start they need at bornlearning.org.
$50 invested in a mutual fund 20 years ago returned $452. $50 in the United Negro College Fund returned an award-winning actor. A mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Hi, and welcome back to Carolina Week. I'm weathercaster Miles Henderson. Well, last week we saw temperatures that topped out near 60 degrees. It's a totally different story this week, as winter conditions have plagued us for the next couple days and will continue to plague us into the weekend. Clear skies are also going to be in the forecast. We have a few lingering clouds right now, but those are going to clear out the rest of the work week. We're also setting up for a very chilly weekend, so don't make those plans quite yet. Let's start out with the U.S. satellite map. See basically clear skies over the southeast right now, but a few clouds to the north and especially over in the Tennessee-Kentucky region as some rain and snow showers are moving through right now. The system to the north is going to continue to push off and not really affect our area. If we zoom into the southeast just a little bit, you see there's those clear skies throughout most of the Carolinas. There's a few clouds to our west, but even further to our west is where the real showers are coming in. And as you move to the north, as temperatures drop just a little bit, they're starting to see some snow move into their forecast, but that shouldn't plague us for the next couple of days. If we look at the southeast radar, there's the showers I was telling you about. Those will continue to move off, not really affect the Carolinas region, because we have basically beautiful clear skies right now. If we take a look at the surface map, there's this low positioned just about to the south-central U.S., and that's what's associating with these storms and snow showers. That's going to continue to move off to the northeast, and as it does so, we're going to see a slight warming trend tomorrow, but after that, temperatures are going to begin to decline, and they're going to continue to drop into the weekend, where it's going to be very, very chilly. We can take a look at that in the Carolina Week 4-day forecast. For Friday, look for partly cloudy skies and temperature around 51. A nice day to get out. Enjoy the weather. For Saturday, though, partly cloudy skies as well, but temperatures begin to decline with a high of only 47 degrees. On Sunday, clouds roll out, mostly sunny skies, and a high of 42 degrees. Look at that low, 21 degrees. That's very cold. On Monday, mostly sunny skies with a high of around 46. If you're planning on taking a trip out to the beach this weekend, not the best beach weather. You're going to have clear skies both days, but with temperatures in the 40s, it's going to be a bit chilly outside. If you're planning on going the other way to the mountains, much better weather. Partly cloudy skies both days, mostly sunny on Sunday, and a high of 52 on Saturday with a high of 44 on Sunday. It's going to be very chilly, but it's looking like a good weekend for some skiing. If you're planning on headed out to Sugar Mountain, they have 18 of their 20 slopes open with man-made snow. If you're going to Massanutten in Virginia, they have groomed slopes. 13 of 14 of theirs are open. And if you're going to Snowshoe Mountain in West Virginia, every single one of their slopes open. They definitely have the best skiing throughout most of the area.
It is going to be cold, but thank goodness it's not going to snow.
Yeah, not yet.
No, thanks, Miles.
Some great skiing weather. Thanks very much, Miles. Sportscaster Michael Crow is back with us. And Mike, I've got the sore throat. I'm hoarse. Like 25,000 other fans last night that were really cheering for a big Carolina victory.
Yeah, we tried to cheer into victory, but unfortunately they just couldn't come all the way back. Duke pulled ahead at the end there. But coming up in sports, it was almost another great comeback in the storied basketball rivalry. We'll show you what went right for the Heels and what went wrong down the stretch.
I wonder how Silent Sam feels about guarding the university from groups of third-grade kids. Maybe he's lost interest. We haven't heard his rifle fire recently. Still he stands, a steadfast defender of something. What is it? No one knows the real Carolina like a student. Carolina Week, the student news show.
Welcome to Carolina Week Sports. I'm Michael Crow. I tried Splenda, chocolate syrup, and straight Kool-Aid mix, but nothing's been able to get that bitter taste of defeat out of my mouth. After last year's remarkable Senior Day comeback, Duke came into the Dean Dome looking for revenge, and that's just what the Blue Devils got.
In the first half, J.J. Redick and Sean Dockery jumped on Carolina early. Turnovers plagued the Heels, and Duke held a 5-point halftime lead. When the Tar Heels came out for the second half, their effort was less than stellar. Duke increased the lead to 17 points.
The first 3 minutes of the second half, it was just, I was dumbfounded how we just didn't have the fire and didn't have the poise. We turned it over 4 straight possessions, and we can't come out and play like that and be a good basketball team.
A disgusted Williams subbed out all 5 starters, and the high-energy replacements trimmed the lead to 11. When the starters returned, tough defense and out-rebounding Duke by a whopping 19 boards fueled a 36-14 run and propelled the Heels to a 5-point lead. That's when Duke turned to J.J. Redick.
He made some 2 big-time shots, at one of them from the corner across from their bench. I thought we had him guarded very, very well, and he jumped up and made a big-time shot.
Redick shot over shorter defenders with ease and torched Carolina with 35 points, but Redick proved to be human, throwing this ball away. Bobby Fraser's runner in the lane cut Duke's lead to 1, but needing a 3-pointer to tie, Danny Green drove to the basket, and his shot came up short.
You got to finish the game. You got to finish the job. I've never been one on big moral victories whatsoever, and we had a chance to finish the game.
This one hurts, but you can't hang your head. Not in this league. You know, we got to be ready to play.
Duke has won 17 of the past 20 meetings between the two teams. The Heels travel to Miami this weekend. Well, the women's team is still at the top of the college basketball world and will try to stay there against ACC rival Maryland Thursday night. When these two teams met last year, the Tar Heels were number 5, but fell to the Terps by 15 in College Park. This time, however, hopes for a victory are high for fans, ACC Women's Player of the Week Ivory Latta, and the rest of the #1 ranked Heels. To pull out the big W, they must continue to hit shots from outside the arc, like Erlana Larkins, as well as look out for bad passes down low, leading to careless turnovers. To win against Maryland won't come easy. Well, if you think that the Duke-Carolina game attracts a big crowd, we sent a reporter to the biggest game of them all, the Super Bowl. Arash Arabasadi takes a look at all the craziness in Detroit.
Super Bowl XL had a little something for everyone. Blizzards, brawls, and Bibles handed out by this guy who swore up and down that God was a Steelers fan. This guy sang songs,
It's the one for Pittsburgh Steelers to get
while this lady told me about her plans for the weekend.
Tailgate, get drunk, have sex.
Many came to support their teams, some came for the tickets, and one guy...
Hey man, can I buy 2 AA batteries off you?
Lines like this were common at places like the Hockeytown Cafe, where admission was $100. For most football players, winning a Super Bowl is just a dream. For 3 Tar Heels, Willie Parker, Jeff Reed, and Greg Warren, that dream is now a reality. The only question remaining is who will be next. In Detroit, I'm Arash Arabasadi, Carolina Week Sports.
Well, it's a distribution week again for the men's basketball team, and I think that the women are actually also going to have to do a distribution themselves.
Yeah, there's a new twist with it this year. Because such is the high demand with the Duke game, students actually have to go to TarHeelBlue.com to sign up and get tickets because they've had so many people express interest in buying tickets in the general public.
Well, that's what happens when you have a #1 ranked team, so it's expected.
Go Lady Tar Heels.
All right, thanks very much, Mike.
Thanks, Michael. Well, Duke versus Carolina means serious competition.
Both on and off the court. You won't believe what some students will do for a ticket. We'll show you coming up.
There's a vacation village near Orlando that's unlike any other. It's called Give Kids the World. It brings a week of joy to children with life-threatening illnesses, and it's absolutely free for their families. Call Give Kids the World or log on, and please, help give them a time to remember.
If you have a story idea, contact Carolina Week at 843-8292. You can also visit us online at carolinaweek.org. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Campus Box 3365, UNCCH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27599.
Well, some people will go to great lengths to get tickets to the big game.
That's right, Shaheen. Some people were lined up in the D. Nillman tents for days before the Duke game so they could get good seats at the risers. And reporter Michael Abramowitz shows us how rabid some fans actually are.
Well, it's game day, UNC versus Duke. And tickets for front row riser have to be pretty tough to come by on game day, but not impossible. It all depends on what you're willing to do.
First up, crackers, hot dogs, pie, and maple syrup to wash it down.
Is everybody ready?
The contestants dig in, but it isn't long before the field narrows down to junior Edwin Dawkins and sophomore Ryan Hay. It looks like Ryan is about to win this contest, but wait a second. Oh, that's a tough break. He just couldn't keep that syrup down, and Edwin takes the tickets. Now meet senior Rob Giddings, a special kind of guy with special tastes.
Today I'm pretending to be Krzyzewski's pet Reddick and filling 2 J.J. Reddick entitled dog dishes with Alpo, mealworms, waxworms, and crickets and eating it.
Juniors Nate McCosby and Roger Horowitz round out the menu with a gourmet PBJ sandwich. And there's even a little dessert left over for Rob. Kind of disgusting, isn't it? Reporting at the pit, I'm Michael Abramowitz for Carolina Week.
Oh, wow. That is disgusting.
Oh, Shaheen, I'd like to think that I'm a dedicated Carolina fan, but...
No. Would you ever do anything
No,
like that?
no. I'll take my seats up in Section 215T any day before doing that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we've got Miles Henderson back here with us, and we'll just get one more check of the weather.
Well, like I said, it's going to be downright cold this weekend. It's going to be great weather to go out skiing with highs in the 40s and lows in the 20s. It's going to be a great time for them to make more snow and to hopefully get all those slopes open for the weekend.
Not a good beach weekend,
No,
but
definitely
definitely a good ski weekend.
It will be.
All right, thanks very much, Miles. And thank you for watching. If you would like to see any more about any of the stories you've seen tonight, you can always go to carolinaweek.org.
Thanks for watching. Have a great night.
So long.
Good talk to you.
I think so.
Why
That's
did-
worse than the dirty shirt.
Why did we air that?
That's worse than the dirty shirt.
We had like